Welcome back to Optinex. Yokai Watch 1, 2 and 3 are very popular games for Nintendo 3DS. And if you think about the series Yokai Watch, these are the first games that come to our mind. In this video, however, we will dive into the world of Yokai Watch Blasters and solve the problem why it's so much less popular than the main series and the reasons why it's failed to establish in the West. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel Optinex if you want to see more amazing Yokai Watch content, and comment your experience if you have played it. Yokai Watch Blasters came out on July 11th in 2015 in Japan with two editions, Red Cat Corps and White Dog Squad. If you compare this to the release of Yokai Watch 2 and 3, it got released in a time span between these games 1 year each. On September 8th of 2018, it got released in the West with the same versions. Already in Yokai Watch 2, there was a game mode called Blasters where you could fight Oni and other bosses with a team of 4 yokai, each having different attributes, and collect Oni orbs in order to get the best rewards possible. This mode then got updated later in Yokai Watch 2 Physics Spectres to Y Blasters, which is an improved version introducing a whole lot of new bosses. The mode later managed to become a whole game with new yokai and a new storyline, new bosses and a whole new theme, known as the Yokai Watch spin-off Blasters. In the game you play with 4 yokai which are distributed in the 4 role classes, which are Fighter, Tank, Healer and Ranger. Fighters like Jibanyan, Sveteria or Shogunex have the role to deal as much damage to opponent yokai as possible. They are often physical or elemental attackers with a high damage output. Tanks like Arcanus or Goldenyan are the ones who should concede the damage dealt by opponent yokai, since they usually have got a high amount of life points. Healers, for example Elder Boom, are self-explanatory. They have the response to prevent your yokai from dying and have strong heal attacks. And rangers like Master Nyada all have a special attack like explosion or boosting your yokai's power in order to beat your opponents more easily. In order to build a successful team, you need to have a perfect balance between the roles. The gameplay mostly consists of your yokai fighting opponent yokai or bosses in order to progress the storyline. Therefore you need to complete mandatory missions which help you to unlock new key features. The further you advance, the higher level your opponents will become. There are also voluntary patrol missions which have no real objective. Therefore they are mostly used to befriend new yokai or to level your friendly yokai for the next fight. You can also collect Oni orbs there, which are your main currency to buy stuff and advance in the game. A few examples of bosses you fight during the main storyline of Yokai Watch Blasters are Gargoros, Spurring, Ghosty Bones, SV Snagayak, or Slimander. The final boss who you will fight in the main storyline is called Whispered Cream, who is a way bigger and stronger whisper, and he will spawn smaller yokai called Cream Puffs who help him during the fight. Once you defeated him, you will come back to your base and get a massive amount of Oni orbs. Even though you defeated the main story boss, there's still a lot to do. For example, complete your medallion or fight all post-game content bosses like Cat, Fatal or Kabuki, who were extremely challenging in Yokai Watch 2 as well. There's also a bonus version called Moon Rabbit Crew, which adds features like the VIP room or KJ. You can play songs in your base, but even a whole new game mode called Time Attack, which plays similar like a boss rush lasting around 15 minutes. This version added to Blasters without any cost also adds new yokai, new bosses, new equipment and rank AK points. Here I show you the 15 new yokai which got added in this update. As already mentioned, Yokai Watch Blasters has 2 main versions called Red Cat Corps and Blue Dog Squad, which have a few exclusive yokai to it. And even the hardest challenge will be different depending on your version. In Red Cat Corps, you can befriend yokai like Ichibanyan, Rudy, Gagagos, Meginian, Sandy, Cerberus, Flangu, Corpton, Kabuki, Belfry, Millennium, Oranian, Strabanian and few more. These seem to be a lot of yokai because each version has 15 exclusives. Some yokai who are exclusive to White Dog Squad are B. Manzan or Grelos, Nyancelot, Chigaba, Swoosh, Azure Dragon, Whisper, Chihuahua, aka Blue Abdinex, Zero, Walden, Millennian, Kinvanyan, Gravenyan, and many more. These are a lot more exclusive yokai than in the Yokai Watch 2 versions, making trading more important than ever. However, the servers already shut down, which forces you to use level 256 nowadays. Each version also has 2 exclusive big bosses, being Reveals Day and Dame Dead Time, by Red Cat Corpse and McCracken, and Hardy Hound for White Dog Squad. The hardest boss for White Dog Squad, however, is Red Paws. A big Red Cat boss whose counterpart Cyrillus Omar only appears in Red Cat Corp. But why can the game be called a failure now? It sold around 700,000 copies within the first few days in Japan, which is incredibly much for just a spin-off, and there was even a game called Yokai Watch Blasters 2, even though it had to stay in Japan and never came to Europe in North America. Yokai Watch Blasters sold around 2 million copies in Japan, but in the West it failed to establish itself as a popular 3DS game.
Quick come back to Dynamon here, because Abdinex audio got so quiet I was not able to save it anymore. One reason could be the monotone gameplay, which is very similar most of the time compared to the mainline games where you do a lot of different stuff. Also, the game was quite easy to beat and not much of a challenge, which happens much more in the post-game. The timing of its Western release was also not the best, since the Nintendo Switch got released in 2017, and by this time the 3DS was losing a lot of popularity, being overshadowed by a new console.
That's why Yokai Watch Blasters 2 never reached the Western world, and also a valid reason why made Yokai Watch Blasters only sell around 17,000 copies in North America, since spin-off games are usually not as popular as mainline games. This was it from the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. There's also a Yokai Watch 3 version called T-Blasters, which is played like a whole different game itself. So should I talk about it in more detail? Definitely like and subscribe to my channel for more Yokai Watch content, and also check out my friends who also make Yokai Watch videos like Dynamon, Gear and Shogunex.